International papers now with Raw, who's with us on set. The battle raging on in Syria's second city. International press wondering if Assad's regime will ever fail.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the British newspaper, The Independent. Remember Libya? Well, it was the threat in Benghazi that triggered a Western intervention. But Syria is not Libya, says the paper. This time, the international community is not in a hurry to send any troops. In the United States, for example, Barack Obama is on full election mode and he's not ready to jeopardize a second mandate. In France, we've got a new, less intervention-minded president, and in the UK, well, they're trying to reduce their military. So what are the solutions? Well, according to the paper, the international community could impose a no-fly zone, but that could be costly and very tricky indeed. Or they could arm the opposition, which is probably already happening, according to the newspaper. Hence the reason why we're seeing the opposition that seems to be growing a little bit stronger.
Yeah, we just don't get told about it, do we? The Guardian, they're warning, though, even if Assad goes, his regime won't go with him.
Yes, and the Guardian says Syria is not a house of glass. The structure of the regime is like concrete, says the paper. Assad and his family have been building it up for more than 4 decades, networking with social, political and ethnic communities, building a reputation as a resistance fighter against the United States, against Israel's dominance in the Arab world. However, says the paper, well, the system seems to be fraying because we've seen numerous defections in the army, and Syria's top generals, for example, have defected, and the West sanctions are also starting to weaken the economy. But let's not kid ourselves, says the Guardian. Assad still has powerful allies, as you know, Russia, China and Iran. Although he is bleeding, I quote from The Guardian, it may be too early to write Assad's obit.
You found a cartoon to highlight this, haven't you?
Yes, a cartoon that depicts Bashar al-Assad as a monster, and you can see actually his tail sticking out, and someone saying, "Your tail's showing." And he says, "I know. It's on purpose." And you can notice there on the tail there's a tattoo which reads chemical weapons.
OK, there's a couple of lighter stories in the papers today. First off, we've discovered the new North Korean leader's got a wife.
Absolutely. We've been wondering for weeks who was that lady that's been standing next to Kim Jong-un in various public events. Well, now we know. Even North Koreans, they actually thought that it was his sister, but no, it's his wife. So the Christian Science monitor wonders why now. Why is the regime announcing this marriage now? Well, perhaps it's because the leader has once been criticised for taking power too early. As you know, he's thought to be in his early 20s, and saying that he's got a wife means that he's gained maturity and that he's no longer an untested leader.
OK, and North and South Korea, technically at war, of course, at the moment, but a bit of a diplomatic incident's blown up, if you like, at the Olympics.
Yes, let's take a look at the Daily Telegraph. During North Korea's women's football match against Colombia, well, organisers in London introduced the players on the electronic scoreboard, and as you can see on the picture there, it's the wrong flag. It's the flag of South Korea, which is the arch enemy. So obviously the supporters were absolutely shocked, and players walked off the pitch and didn't come back until an hour later.
Excellent. And another gaffe. This is in the New York Times you pulled this one out.
Yes, the New York Times, obviously an American newspaper, which is mocking the UK. It says Britain has vowed to boost security during the Olympic Games. Well, it turns out an 11-year-old boy managed to run away from home and to fly all the way to Rome without a passport and without any cash. And you can see a picture of that boy in the Daily Mail. And it just shows, according to the newspaper, that the country's aviation security to protect the Olympics from potential terrorist attack is quite defenceless.
I love the way they do that, because it was Manchester Airport, not London, and he was going out rather than coming in. But anyway, I suppose it makes a good story. Aurore, thank you very much. Aurore Dupree there with the international papers here on France 24. Stay with us.